Hello, my name is Matthew Grant, and I am a Lyman Briggs major with a concentration in actuarial science. Over this summer, I was given the great opportunity to travel to New Zealand for a study abroad program. I took a class called Climate Change, Zombies, and You, in which we use science fiction, mostly zombie stories, as a lens to look at environmental issues such as environmental conservation and unsustainability. Unsustainability means that we have too few resources in the world and we are consuming too much of them, so it is going to cause many problems in the long run when we eventually run out. This was a great program to prepare me for college because it definitely taught me about time management and to properly balance work time with fun time. I had many of the days where we would get up early, have breakfast around 8 o'clock, and then we would go off for some tour, which would take a few hours and be extremely informative. And then we'd have a couple hours of free time, usually good for getting lunch, maybe a little bit of work done. And then we would have some sort of class for a couple hours. It would usually be in the study lounge of a hostel. And we would talk about what we learned for the day, talk about some new topics, and then we would have the rest of the day. Sometimes there's work to do, sometimes there wasn't. And it wasn't nearly as difficult as people in high school would always tell you. Um, we often, like some days we would have an essay that was due, and we'd have long tours in the morning and not much time for lunch, and then a class, and we would finally have maybe 5 hours until uh, a good time to go to bed for the essay. Excuse me. And so there would be a lot of days where it would be beneficial to work ahead if possible. Many of the days would be busy and we'd want to go out and have fun, but the essay would just loom above us. So I often had days where I would work all day for one day, and then the next couple days I would go out and have some fun. And one time I went zorbing with some of my friends, where you climb in a plastic ball and you roll down a hill, which is incredibly fun. And some days I would also go out with my friends. We would check out some of the places in the cities we went. And then I had other days where I would be completely slammed for work because I paused and waited too long and it came back to bite me in the butt. So definitely it is important to work hard and to work on a constant basis as opposed to every other day or some pattern like that, because the workload can come up on you and it can hurt. Likewise, college also requires that you do a little bit of work each day because it is extremely difficult to study for everything on the last day or on any particular day. Another important thing I learned about in New Zealand is to make good connections with the people around me. I made many great friends, and I see them every day, or I see at least some of them every day up in MSU here too. I will often just be walking from one class to another, and I'll get to wave hi to them as they go by. And it is great to know that on a campus so large, I have people I know who are there. Um, I I have shared experiences with them as well. Places I went with them, such as the Lord of the Rings tour, in which we were able to go to many of the film locations for Lord of the Rings, which was incredibly enjoyable. And I have a picture with me next to a troll, which I love this picture very much. Um, so experiences with these people, having friends from this trip is great because I have people that no matter what, I can talk to them. So I have some future plans for Michigan State, which I have gotten from my experiences at New Zealand, excuse me. My first plan is to make study groups for exams or even just for some of the material that I've gone over in classes, because I have learned, especially from the hard essays we would get during the class, that it is incredibly useful to have people to bounce ideas off of and to work together, it is beneficial to everyone in the long run. Another plan that I have is to budget my time a lot better, because as good enough as it is to have some days where I work all day and then I can have fun days, it really is more enjoyable to me if I can work all morning and have the afternoon free. I can hang out with all my friends that I made on my floor. I can play all sorts of things. We have video games around, so I play those a lot. I can go out places. I can go to the Cold Stone store because I love ice cream. And I can't do this if I have to work all day. So it's definitely important to